Okay, this video is going to show you the second step of the Sharpie Studio, how to experiment with Zentangles. So, a Zentangle is just another word. It's a fancy word or a new word for something that's been around for a long time, and that is pattern. So, I want you to write this on your sheet. Patterns are basically repeated lines and shapes, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to have some fun with the Sharpies to create patterns, repeated lines and shapes. And recently there's been a phenomenon that's come around that's called Zentangling that people really like, and so we're gonna refer to it a little bit as Zentangling. So what you need to do first is to take just a pencil. Any pencil will do. I'm going to use a Sharpie, but you should use a pencil, okay? And you're just going to kind of create a tangled line here. You don't need a lot, but just something like that, okay? Now, within each little shape here that I've created with my abstract line, I'm going to create a different pattern. So to start, maybe you just want to start simple. Just start with some lines. Okay, so inside this little thing, I'm going to create lines. You don't have to create these lines. These are just my examples. You might come up with something else. And maybe as I'm doing it, I'm thinking, oh, I did those horizontal lines. Now what happens if I do these vertical lines? Okay, and then you might even want to color them in like a checkerboard, where you do every other one colored and you create a checkerboard. Okay. Then let's say, okay, let's try something else. So let's say I completed all of that. Now I'm going to maybe just make repeated circles here. Big circles, small circles, see what that looks like. All right. Now, let's say you do this, you do some circles, you do some dots, you do some lines. If you want to use another color, that's fine too. And then you're working and you're kind of getting stuck and you're like, I don't know what else to do here. I've kind of like exhausted all the patterns that I know. Then if you would like to, if you want some suggestions, you can go right here to this green bookshelf. Should have a binder that says Zentangles. All right, so in that binder there's a couple of different things. There's some ones that look like this that show you step by step how to do a pattern. And then there's just some like idea sheets that show you a bunch of different patterns that you might get inspiration from. So if you're using one of these, you simply do what it says step by step. So here I have my example Zentangle here. I think this one's called weaving. I'm going to pretend there's a line here because I'm going to make this fast so you don't get bored with the video. Then I'm just going to do what is here on the paper. So here it's just a repeating horizontal and vertical lines, but here I had horizontal line, and then the next time I do it, I'm going to put vertical next to the horizontal and horizontal next to the vertical. All right, and it creates a weaving pattern. All right, so basically, and then you look here, you might find some other examples of how to do things. You can also look online, typing in Zentangles. They'll give you step by step how to do different things. But your job to get cleared for this section of the Sharpie Studio is to create a different pattern within each one of your little shapes that you've created so that you have some Zentangles or patterns to refer back to when we do some of our pattern work. Don't forget to put your cap back on your Sharpie and turn back in your Sharpies when you're done.